All right.
Yep. Yeah. How's it going out there in the interwebs world? If you can't see the title, it's a peppercorn. It's peppercorn wood. It's very cracked on one end because obviously it wasn't sealed.
I've never heard of peppercorn.
It's you know the pepper that you eat.
Yeah.
It's the same. That's just a tree that it was grown on. Pink peppercorn it was.
So do you sneeze a lot when you turn it?
Yes. No. No. This got cut down 4 years ago or something like that, and I was woodworking, but I wasn't turning, so I didn't actually have any plans for it other than for the fire demon to eat it up. So I left it outside, and yeah, it's slightly weathered, to say the least.
I had one of the club members give me a beautiful 10-inch round piece of birch today. No cracks in it or anything, so by the weekend it's going to get turned into something. Don't know what yet.
Jeff, have you got the YouTube set up?
Sorry?
Has Jeff got the YouTube set up?
The what?
YouTube chat. No? Yes?
If you open up YouTube,
one, no.
Jeff, if you open up YouTube, open up my live, and the chat can be popped out as a separate window, and then close my YouTube live off, and then you can put that chat over the StreamYard chat, and then you can communicate with people in the chat.
Oh. Well, give me a second here. You're confusing me.
I just put well, you'll see it in the comments there now, Jeff. It's just come up in the comments that we've got.
Oh, he's done a cade. He did a cade.
And here I thought I was being helpful. So that's peppercorn. That link is a Wikipedia link to a peppercorn tree.
So I'll get the link to my live. And hang on, Jeff.
Okay.
I'll put the link to my live in the private chat, Jeff, if you like.
Okay.
And then you can just go from there. And
okay, got it.
because Sid,
I do this in a separate window, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a three little dots at the top of the chat box, and if you click on them, one of the options is pop chat out.
Okay. There's three little dots. Where are they?
Yeah.
Oh, in my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
On the
top of the chat on your YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, on the YouTube. Okay.
Yes.
On YouTube, yeah.
Where it's got top
Here.
chat and live chat, across onto the right, there's three little dots.
Okay. And what's the name of your... Oh, here we go. Okay, that's right. You sent me the link.
Yep, it'll be the one right at the top. I have my lives as a feature on the channel.
And I click on pop out chat.
Yes.
Correct.
And then to save your bandwidth, you can close YouTube or whatever that live off, and then just have the chat open.
And the popped out chat will stay there, which lets you communicate on YouTube while you're watching the live on StreamYard.
Yes.
Okay, so this is basically just a chat.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't type into the StreamYard chat.
Okay.
And that Sid put a Wikipedia link in there for you if you want to check out Peppercorn.
For peppercorn. You know, Jeff.
Oh, yeah. There's a Jeff in the YouTube chat. Let's leave quick.
Fancy seeing you here.
So basically, I'm going to watch this all from YouTube then.
Oh, no.
No.
Close the YouTube off and leave the pop-out chat open as a separate window.
Okay. Pop
So if you
out
still got
chat. So I got the pop-up
That'll
chat,
come up
pop-out
with
chat.
Yep. And then you can close YouTube right off.
and just leave the chat up.
Yeah.
Okay. Ba-bum. Oh, okay.
And then you can just use your cursor to take the chat down to size and set it on the right-hand side of, I set it on the right-hand side of the StreamYard. And then anyone who pops up in the YouTube chat, you can still type and comment, which you can't do out of StreamYard.
I see what you're saying. Okay. So I'm moving some things around here. So I get everything on one screen. Okay. Go full screen. Now the chat that's in StreamYard, can I close that section off so I get a better image?
I don't think it makes much difference image-wise. I just lay the YouTube chat over the top of it.
I see.
Because the advantage of the one sitting in StreamYard, what I often do is I can just see the bottom of the StreamYard one, because the StreamYard will also pick up the chat out of Facebook as well as YouTube.
Yeah.
And
okay.
You'll see that by the icon on the left. It'll have a Facebook icon on the left or a YouTube icon on the left, and that tells you where the chat's coming from.
Oh, okay. I got it figured out.
Yep.
I am educatable. Cool. Thank you.
But it's one of those nice things. So it's nice to be able to just type in the chat with the YouTube stuff as well.
Yeah. Well, we finally had some decent warm weather. And by warm, I mean
we're nearly out of
40,
summer.
I mean 40 degrees. But it's been wonderful.
Now, let me think here for a minute. Now, that's above zero?
Yes.
So that's above freezing, yes.
Yes, above freezing, yep.
32 Fahrenheit is freezing, is that correct?
Yeah, but we've been pretty much in the teens for the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
And one of the things that we talked about in the Wood Turning Club on Sunday is that last week the board and I had to move all of our property out of the place that we was leasing because we lost our lease. So we got to do that in a snowstorm, And of course I got there with the U-Haul truck before anybody else and had to dig it out of the snow by myself. So, but it was a fun week.
Look out, Robbo's back.
Right, stop talking about me, I'm back.
Don't be so conceited. We weren't talking about you. I'm nearly out of pistachios, so I'll have to go soon.
Oh, definitely.
So I actually started working on the urn for my dog this week. Started yesterday.
Oh, very good.
Yep.
And how's the hunt for a new premises going?
Well, there is no hunt yet. We were busy just getting out of the old one.
Oh, yeah.
So I got the post meeting email out to everybody tonight. So if that didn't get sent out by Ben yet, it'll get sent out tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw the notice up on Facebook, I think it was.
Yeah. So hopefully members will start coming to us with location ideas. But the board members all know a lot of people in the area too, and they've got places they want to look at. So.
If the worst came to the worst, if you've got a big open space, you can get people to bring their own chairs.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Well, we'll have to play by ear as we go along and see what we get.
It's always difficult, though. I must admit, I was involved with a club many, many, many years ago. I'm an honorary member of a couple of clubs, but the club that I used to belong to before I had a blue with them was it had to move premises from a sawmill. They used to meet in a sawmill. They had the old hall where they used to have their meetings in the town, and that was attached to the sawmill. The sawmill actually built it, but they decided they needed to pull it down because they were expanding to automatic sawing and all that sort of thing. So we had to move, and I must admit it was a mammoth task actually finding somewhere that you could get equipment into and everything else, So
yeah. Well, when we moved into the art center, all we had was our store supplies, the lathe, and the TV. That was it. Since then, we've grown into having a shop with 7 lathes in it, and one of the things that we did that really made a lot of sense and really helped out was when we got the U-Haul truck, we also hired 2 movers, and it was 2 young guys in their 20s that were just full of strength, and they kept stopping us when we go to pick something up. No, you guys don't worry about it. We got the heavy stuff. So God bless them.
We're out the young ones first. That's right.
Yeah.
So
is there? I don't know how it works over in America, but a lot of our councils here have a lot of old depots and things that are unused, and for virtually a peanut rent, you can rent them.
Yeah. Well, one thing that one of the board members talked about is, the city we meet in, Pontiac, is a very depressed city. Lots of empty buildings. And so he's going to talk with the mayor of Pontiac. He knows him. And he's going to see if he can get any recommendations on who to talk to about renting a building.
Yeah, these were Public Works Department buildings like CRB, which was Country Roads Board out here. Mm-hmm. And various other things where they'd been amalgamated into other areas and this and that. So there's a building across the road from where we are that must have been 80 feet long by 70 or 80 feet wide. It was absolutely huge, had overhead gantries and everything in it. And it was rented out to a construction company. So they don't stay empty for too long here, fortunately.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, I don't know if you remember in the meeting, one of our members suggested a nursery.
Yes, yeah.
And the reason I didn't say anything, I just told him to give me the contact, is I've been there. And up in the front is a couple of buildings that they have stores in and an art gallery. But all the other buildings are just trashy little things. Some of them don't even have roofs on them. And they have mostly dirt floors. And if there's any cement, it's all busted up and heaved up. So I can see some of our more older members tripping and hurting themselves. So I wasn't crazy about that. And they only have parking for about 20 cars.
Yeah. That's the other thing you got to take in consideration is access. Yeah. Like not only for parking, but for getting machines in and out and all that sort of thing too.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm hoping to find a place where we can store our lathe and TV right there on site.
Yeah.
Now, up until 2015, we met at a nature center out in Clinton Township, and the problem there is we outgrew it. We started growing real fast and getting big, and we couldn't fit people in anymore and stay within the fire code. So that's why we ended up in Pontiac. And that was just the perfect location. But all good things come to an end, huh?
Yeah, and sometimes it's a push for the better too.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what I said to everybody on Sunday is, they got to realize we're a tenant, and the tenant situation is you're not always going to be permanent.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right, guys, back to work for me, so I'll catch you all later. Take care.
See you later, Sid. Go and earn your money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good seeing you. Good chatting with you.
See you, Jim. See you, Bob. See you, Rob. Catch you later, Joey.
Okay, bye. So, and that's something that we'll probably always have to deal with.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
Yep. So,
Quite a few clubs out in Australia actually own their own buildings. They were originally council owned, and they've purchased them off the council and virtually pay a peppercorn rent for the land they sit on.
yeah. Well, you know, that's been mentioned about buying a building or something because, like I said, there's a lot of them in Pontiac. The big concern with that is we really have to crunch numbers carefully because now you've got insurance liabilities you got to pay for, and you've got taxes and utilities and stuff like that. And
Yes.
you got to balance that with how much members are willing to pay for their dues.
And you've also got to factor in the fact that, are we going to keep this membership for X number of years, or is it going to decline, or this and that? Like some of the clubs out here have turned into social clubs. They only go there to have a cup of tea and a chat. They don't actually do anything anymore, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I used to be, I think I mentioned in the club meetings, I was a professional magician for many years. And I was the member and president of the Ann Arbor Magic Club. And over its, they started in 71. They're still going. But over the years, we've gone anywhere from 5 members to 250 members, back and forth. And
it's like sorry, Jeff, go on.
I was going to say, that's kind of a niche thing. You know, it's all entertainment based, and magic comes and goes as far as popularity and stuff like that. And they're on a downswing right now. They've got about 40 members.
Yeah. It's like the scouting movement. Like, I reckon I could count 5 or 10 empty scout halls around our area because kids got interested in other things instead of being scouts. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Things change. It's all part of it.
Well, I know when I was teaching it in the research lab at U of M, I used to attend the wood turning club there in Ann Arbor. And it kept going up and down in membership. And then they would migrate to other clubs and come back again because it was, well, just say it was the people who wanted to run the club ran people off.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, that's what's
the problem.
That's what's basically happened to the Michigan Woodturners. Is you know, they've had the same president for what, 10, 15, 20 years now, and it's become a clique. And Dave Meyer and I went to a meeting 2 years ago because they were demoing how to make threads for urns and stuff like that. And you know, here I am, a visitor coming in. And, you know, I went over to the coffee pot to get a cup of coffee, and there was a gentleman standing there who was a member of the Michigan Turners. And I introduced myself. I said, I'm Jeff Walters. I'm from the Detroit area Wood Turners. And he goes, oh, okay. And he turned around and walked away. You know, if you're not part of their clique, they don't talk to you. And I had maybe 2 people from the club talk to me all day long. And Dave Meyer said that's why he didn't renew with them and came to our club. And we have a lot of their former members.
Yeah. Well, Grand Rapids, I've been online active ever since they went online because I have friends in the club.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's not bad online. They have a pretty good online program.
That's good. That's good.
But no, similar thing happened to us. Like we were doing a demonstration at a club once. We had to be there by 7:30 so that we could set up.
Yeah.
It was pouring down rain. Now, admittedly, it was a sponsored thing. Like I was working for a company. I was representing a company selling wood turning equipment and stuff. And the owner of the company was there as well. And anyway, they opened up the doors. Now, we had a lathe to unload and everything. And it wasn't mini lathes in those days. It was full-size lathes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to get that off the back of the truck, and then we had to get all the equipment in and all the sales stuff and everything. We were set up by 8 o'clock. Not one member offered to help us, and We had to go down. We had to go to the shop next door and buy a cup of tea and a coffee because they didn't have it. Anyway, the demo. We warned them that the demo was 2.5 hours, right? So 10:30 it was going to finish at night. At about 10 o'clock, the president wanders up and says to John, my mate, he says, "You know that you've got to be out of here and cleaned up by 10:30, don't you?" And we went, "What?" Now, at 10:25, we sort of finished pretty well everything. They didn't buy one thing or express any interest. They sat there like bloody dummies the whole night. No questions, no nothing. Didn't help us put it out. We had to put everything outside in the rain, and they all pissed off home. And John and I spent until 11:30 loading it all back up again.
Yep.
So that club got scrawled right off the list.
Yeah. And that's the kind of problem you have with these types of clubs. We had that with the Magic Club. We did a big every 3 years we did a big Magic convention where we had people coming from all over the world, and it was always the same 10 people that was on the committee and planning it all.
Yeah.
And then we had a big members to come and work. And what we ended up doing was we started telling members, if you don't come and put at least 4 hours in of work, then you got to pay admission to get in to everything. And that pissed them off, but they started working.
Yeah, we had the same. I belong to a motorhome club, and it's the same thing. It's the same 4 or 5 doing everything.
Yeah.
And in the end, we had a couple of special events, and we basically said the same thing when I was president of that. I said, right, no work, no free entry. Simple.
Yep. Yeah. We've been pretty lucky. We've always had, our meetings start at 1:30, and I would get there at 12 o'clock. But we always had a large contingent of members show up between 12 and 12:30, and they all helped to set up chairs and set up the tables in the store and get the lathe out and the cameras and everything. So we've been very lucky in that aspect. I've never had to fight with anybody and really ask anybody to do anything.
And hopefully put the urn on, because that's the most important thing of the lot.
Yeah.
or the kettle, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Well, we have one lady, Kelly Friend is her name. She took over in early 2019. She took over the coffee, and that was the greatest thing that ever happened to us, because before that it was just coffee. With her doing it, she brings cookies and Rice Krispies bars that she makes and stuff like that. We love her dearly.
You're spoiled.
Yeah. So our first Zoom meeting, my first question to Kelly was, "So what did you bring to eat?"
The other thing, Robo, that we did as a club is that the building we had was a historic landmark.
Yeah.
And it was club members that repaired the leaking roof, who redid the kitchen because it needed to be updated and modernized. We did a lot of work within the building itself, physical hours of labor.
We put in thousands of dollars and hundreds of man hours into that building because they got it for $1 from the city of Pontiac.
Yeah.
It'd been standing empty for decades, and we patched up the roof 2 or 3 times before they got enough money to put a new roof on, and then we fixed up the ceiling on the inside where the leaky roof had damaged it. We rebuilt the kitchen, built a beautiful barn-style sliding door with a beautiful turned artistic piece on the door.
Yeah.
And so one of the first things the people, when I told the board, one of the first things they said, "Well, we're taking the damn door back." You can't do that. That was a gift.
Yeah.
That's just bad PR.
Dead right. Like, case of you scratch my back, I scratch yours works very well in a lot of cases.
Mm-hmm. But, in the end, they have to redo everything they do about their business to be able to get grants to keep them alive. And that just wasn't going to work for us. It was going to cost us way too much money. And there's a couple people on the board that did not like the fact that we did turning up in the main gallery where the paintings and stuff was. even though when we came in, we showed them what we were doing, and they said, as long as you don't sand, we're okay. But all of a sudden, a couple of members had problems with that, so we couldn't turn up there anymore, even though we'd be paying for it. And so I just said, no, it's not worth the argument.
That's right. Like, yeah, the average person does not realise how much mess wood turning makes.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, and my shed's 40 feet long. I can throw shavings from one end to the other.
Yeah.
And I generally do. So
you don't do like Glenn Lucas and have a big dumpster next to your lathe? And
I've actually, I've got a forklift that I could easily put a bin on it, I suppose. But
yeah, I love watching him do that.
With bowls and that, yes, you can direct the shavings, but with spindle turning, particularly the size I do, man, it's 40 feet of shavings all the way across, you know. So
yeah,
I haven't got a travelling bin, unfortunately.
Well, I haven't been watching.
We can't get building given to us by the city because, as we well proved, we could do maintenance and work on buildings if it's a historic building.
Good day, Sarge. Sorry, Bob. Good day, Sarge. You still climbing up power poles out there in the snow? I just got to the motel and fixing to have something to eat.
Is that who Engine Monkey 2032 is?
Yeah, Jamison Sarge.
Okay, so he's not on video.
No, he's just
normally, but
he's just on the chat.
Yeah, he's probably on his phone.
Okay.
Normally he is in the video here when he's at home, but he's out restoring power around America at the moment.
Okay, he's probably down in Texas then.
No, I think he's in Louisiana or down that way somewhere.
Okay.
He's
snow.
I've got family down in Texas, and they were over a week, with frigid temperatures and no power, and a lot of busted pipes. There's a lot of plumbers heading down to Texas and stuff. They got a gold mine ahead of them.
Yeah.
So.
No, but the way they price their electricity, it's ridiculous. But that happened 4 years ago.
Down in Texas?
Yeah. It's based on market value. And there's a hospital down there, fairly good-sized hospital for Texas, other than in the major cities. It's a rural area with something like 1,500 beds. And they got an $80,000 electric bill.
Wow. Well, that was like back in the early 80s. I was looking at moving to New Jersey because of my job. And my first wife and I went down there to look at things. And we went to one place. It was an apartment. They were townhomes. And we were looking at this one townhome. And I said, who's responsible for the utilities? And they goes, well, you are. And I go, so what's the average utilities? And I about fell over when they told me what it was for electric. I goes, why is electric so high? And he says, because believe it or not, all of New Jersey is fed from western Pennsylvania, a few hundred miles away. I'm going, why is that? I mean, you're right by New York. You're right by all these other places where you get your power from. That's what they worked out decades ago. And I said, well, that is almost a deal killer right there. It was going to be like close to $1,000 a month.
Yeah, Sarge is down in Mississippi.
Oh, Mississippi. Okay. He's over by Captain Eddie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I lived in Melville, New Jersey for about 2.5 years doing TV production work and film. It was just outrageous. I did a lot of stuff down in Atlantic City. Commercial film, the big stuff, 35 millimeter. And, it just was ridiculous, the prices that we had to pay for electricity and the surcharges.
Yeah.
Because if we wanted to, we'd rent a part of a ballroom in a small hotel or motel area where they have a meeting room and
Hmm.
set up editing so we could do some post work
Yeah.
and in order to do dailies, you know what they are.
Yep.
And God, that room itself was the same price as it cost for the 9 uh, crew rooms that we had,
Hmm.
because that was commercial electricity.
Yeah. Yep. I was in Marlton, New Jersey,
Ah,
which is just kind of over the Pennsylvania border,
yeah.
and about an hour from New York City. In a beautiful little area. I mean, they had nice subdivisions and stuff like that, and but yeah, just the cost of living there was it was higher than Chicago, you know. And
Oh, yeah.
I turned down a position in Chicago because of the cost of living there.
Well, there's New Jersey has some interesting history that a lot of people, unless you live there and study it, then you don't realize it.
Yeah.
Uh, it used to be against federal law, all during early America, pre-America, to eat tomatoes
Yeah.
because
Oh, I remember hearing that. Yep.
they were part of Satan's fruit.
Yep.
And in Millville, somebody got on the courthouse steps in another city at the same time, one of color, one not.
Hmm.
And then they were only about a half a mile apart, but and it was integrated. But it's just
Hmm.
that's where the majority of the housing just happened to end up. And they were eating raw tomatoes.
Yeah.
And they believed in witchcraft, of course, in those days, and they
Hmm.
thought for sure that they were going to die, and they had a vigil.
Oh
It
yeah,
went
they were.
between a few hours to a few days, and then later on, other people were eating tomatoes,
Yeah,
and the
they did that
police
to
and
prove that tomatoes won't kill you.
yeah, and that was the torture. You're going to die because we're going to feed you tomatoes,
Yeah.
and they had all the kids. If you're naughty, you're going to eat a tomato. And
Hmm.
then they started calling them love apples because, but it's a history that's been long forgotten about New
Yeah.
Jersey.
Well, I
But
remember
that's about the only thing.
I remember they told us that in high school back in the
Ah,
70s. But here's a funny thing. I got a friend who is just 100% Italian. I mean, you would have thought he came over from Italy, and he can't eat tomatoes. He's allergic to them. I said, that means you can't eat half the dishes that you got there. He goes, I
That
know, it sucks. So
that's yeah. Well, I've got a female friend that's allergic to tomatoes, and she looks at pizzas with lust in her eyes. You know, she
yeah,
said, "I'd
yeah,
love to try it, but it'd kill me."
it's a forbidden fruit. Yeah.
Yeah,
And we thought maybe it was the acid. So I got him some acid-free tomatoes.
no,
He broke out all around his lips and rashes and everything like that. And he
yeah,
get blisters. Yeah.
like Jay the other day. Jay Jay was turning blackwood and had a reaction to that.
Oh.
Came up with blisters all across the top of his lips and everything. They're nearly
Mm.
all gone now, but geez, he looked in a bad way for a while.
I
Did not
was
look didn't
I don't
look
know if
handsome at all.
I don't know if you know who Ernie Conover is.
Yes.
Yeah, I took one of his classes about 5 years ago on bull turning, and in his class, you're right out in front of the barn cutting the log up into bull blanks, and then you go in, you turn it, and he had a bunch of walnut, and we had one of the people in the class reacted to the walnut.
Yep.
And this person had a nut allergy.
Yeah.
And
I've got a mild allergic reaction to what's called Merbu or Quilla out here. It's an Asian timber. I get the symptoms of a cold. I get the snuffles and the blocked nose.
yeah,
And another one that I'm really, really allergic to is one called Nyota, which just makes me puff up like the Michelin Man.
oh wow, that's no good.
No.
Coca-Cola gives me a lot of sinus issues and stuff. And and that was one of the first things that pushed me to start wearing a respirator was Coca-Cola because I love working with the wood.
Yeah, it comes up nice.
Yeah. Has a beautiful cinnamon smell, but you can't smell it when you're in a respirator.
No, well, you hope you don't anyway if you've got an allergy to it, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
So I've been fairly lucky over the years, I suppose, as far as allergies and that going. Like, I've turned a heck of a lot of different timbers, and they're the only two that I really come out in a problem with. So
Yeah, I've not turned anything that has caused me any severe reactions. Just the Coca-Cola with the sinuses, and it was like you said, more the sniffles and stuffed up head and stuff.
yeah,
So I use a neti pot and clean out my sinuses and stuff after I've done that. But yeah, I've not had it, and I don't have any food allergies, which has been great until last year. My wife, we have a lot of Indians that live in the area, and she's got a friend from work who's Indian, and she grows her own herbs. And curry, I don't eat because curry gives me an upset stomach.
me too.
Well, this young lady said that she's got a curry that's used in some of their dishes. It's very expensive, so they don't use a lot of it. But it has a whole different flavor, and it won't affect your stomach like that. So we tried it, and the dish was just wonderful. But within 15, 20 minutes, I was in the bathroom going out of both ends. And then after that stopped, I went out and sat in my chair, and I just broke out in rashes all over my body.
Yeah.
And then got the chills real bad, and I was like that for about 30 minutes. And that was scary. That's the first food I ever had a reaction to.
I wonder if you're immune to it now. Some food allergies, when you get that big a response, that you get immune to.
Well, I'm not going to try it again to see.
It's like poking your finger in the fire, isn't it? The first time, oh shit, that burnt. So the first time's an accident, the second time's stupidity, in my opinion.
That's right. Yep. Oh, that's what Einstein said. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
Results, yeah, that's right. Yeah. And unfortunately, I know a few people like that. or you get the other ones that want you to prove that their theory is right, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or that you're trying to back them up on it.
Right. I was out at one of the members' shops today. He runs our club store, and we took all the glue, super glue stuff, and we didn't put it into storage. We got him a refrigerator, and he's keeping it at his place.
Yep.
And we're going to make that available to members. But he's got the Nova Galaxy lathe, and and so I got a chance to play with that a little bit. That's a nice lathe.
They are. They're not a bad lathe. There's only. I'll get into trouble saying this. There is not one electronic variable speed that I can't production like manufactured lathe that I can't stop.
Yeah.
Because I take massive cuts when I'm starting to fly. But there's only one I've ever come across that I could not stop. Didn't matter what I do. I reckon I could have poked a crowbar into it. But it had a 10 horsepower motor that had variable speed on it.
Yeah.
And it's not available to the general public. It's the funny part is that Vicmark actually make it.
Was it a 3-phase motor on it?
Yeah, 3-phase.
Industrial, yep.
Yeah, and
well, when I was looking at getting the McNaughton coring system, I went on Sawmill Creek forum and I was asking questions about it, and I was asking if 1.5 horsepower was going to be enough. So I went and installed the lathe, and because I have a Nova DVR. And it's funny, the responses I got from people. I had guys with the American Beauty 3 horsepower, they've stalled that motor using the McNaughton.
Yep. No, I must admit, I've never used a one-wire or the American Beauty. I know a couple of people that have, and everybody swears by the stubby out here.
Stubby's a great lathe. Yeah.
Yeah. I find it a pain in the ass.
Really?
I actually did the testing on the first stubby that they ever made.
Mm.
And, well, the factory's only 30 kilometres from my place. So it was working with wood show, and you could stop that thing sanding. That's how bad the electronics were on it.
Hmm.
And they're a brilliant lathe. They're not new ideas. Like my Wadkin that's 60 years old has got 70 years old now, sorry. That's got the same sliding beds and everything on it. So it's nothing new in that respect. But the engineering on them is very, very good.
Yeah.
But the electronics let them down. But I've only got one variable speed lathe in the whole place. And that's the one I take out on demos. Yeah. But I don't need variable speed. But the DVR is Galaxy they call it now. It used to be called the DVR. Is a nice lathe. And if you take it carefully, yes, you can do coring on it. It's not as quick as a belt drive, but you can do it all right.
Yeah. Yep.
The biggest feature with the DVR is that it will attempt to speed up the motor to bring up the torque again if you start stalling it.
Yeah.
Whereas most of them just die.
Yeah, I've experienced that with taking heavy cuts on hollowing out a ball.
Yeah.
Yep. And I've also had it shut off because there was too much vibration.
Yep. Yeah, they've got a sensor in there that shuts it down for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Almost like washing machines these days, that says, hey.
So that's and that's just you got to take the time to learn your machine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just to answer Sarge in the chat there, Robbo, you've been wearing a hat lately. Are you trying to take my place? Laugh out loud. No. When I start wearing a hat, you know that it's starting to get a bit cooler. So that's the reason, like, we're down about 21 degrees here at the moment. So, and I know all you blokes would say, geez, we wish.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Well,
it's starting to cool down.
I use a McNaughton, and I've got their big set, and with my Powermatic. And I have yet to stall that thing. But then again, they've tweaked the controller. I got two controllers for it when I got the lathe, and I can swap them out, the controller card, and it's interesting because they're both set up for different types of turning.
Yeah.
Because the person that bought the lathe and used it as a professional, and I'm suspicious I know who gave me the lathe, but it's interesting. It just showed up in my shop one day with it's a document saying it's yours until you die.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was using the big Powermatic commercial one when I taught at the tech shop when it was open. And I fell in love with that thing. I was there 10 to 12 hours a day teaching on it, and then time for my own use.
Yeah.
So, and then when tech shop closed, within a matter of like 2 days, it appeared in my garage.
Yeah.
With the note.
Answer your phone.
One of the things that I miss about my last lathe, now that I got the Nova, is that the Nova's got that narrow bed on it. I miss a full-size bed.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. But I do like the machine. It's a good machine. I just added 100.
My brother John, that's what he got for his apartment, and it's in his so-called den.
Yeah,
along with all the other power tools, but he likes that.
You know Sandy Doran in our club?
Yeah.
She's got she bought Don Doyle's Laguna 1836, and she's in a senior citizen tower in a little apartment, and she's got it in there.
How did she get to 20?
Don't know. Unless they've rewired it for 110. Yeah, I don't know. But
I don't either. But yeah, that Powermatic is heavy.
yeah.
I did get industrial wheels rollers for it and self-leveling legs. I found years ago, right after I got it, the company that made them commercially for uh, displays moving around on display floors. So it's got the very soft or the neoprene hard rubber that
Hmm.
won't mar a floor. And I contacted them and they said, well, yeah, you can take 500 pounds per wheel with not a problem. And they lock and you crank a pad up and down so as it supports itself once you get it. They use them for industrial machinery shows. They said, we
Hmm.
have four of them. They were bought and they were the wrong size, and they simply pitched them in a bucket because they weren't going to keep them. So if you would like them, I said I'd love them, and I got them.
Yeah, nice.
Then I saw $184 a wheel retail, but yeah, and it's really nice. I can level the thing, and it's rock solid, won't vibrate. If
Yeah.
anything, it vibrates the concrete slab in my garage floor.
Wow. Well, my Nova, even with the Nova cast iron legs, was still only about 300 pounds. Not a lot of weight if you're turning logs, and especially that aren't true. And so one of the things I did is we got everything from the club into storage. We had 2 bags of sand that we used as weight on our jet lathe. And I says, I'm going to take this, and when we get to a permanent location, I'll just buy the club 2 more bags. And I put 100 pounds of weight onto the Nova. So I'm looking forward next week at turning a log and seeing how it does. So I should be 408 pounds now.
As I said in
You
a
don't
live,
show it.
yes. As I said in a live the other day, there's 2 B's, ballast and bracing, to make a lathe solid.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can get both of them, that's fantastic. Like I've got a Nova 3000. That's my little production lathe that I've been using now. And I got the second one that ever came into the country. So must be nearly, geez, 25, 30 years old, I suppose now. And that actually sits on a box that weighs 500 kilos because that's full of sand. So, and of course, then the bigger lathe, that weighs 5 tons. But funnily enough, Henry, the 40-foot lathe, only weighs 1.5 tons. But it's got bracing every which way but loose. You cannot move that thing to save your life.
Wow.
So took them 43 hours to put all the bracing in underneath it.
Wow.
And boy, did they abuse me for that. Because they're working, like what we did was set up meter boxes, right, that had 4 legs, and then they were cross braced between each leg, and then cross braced across the base and the top. So it's a cube that's so solid you can't move it. And then they started joining the beds and everything onto it. But to crawl around in all the spaces to get welds right around all the steel work, there was things being rolled over everywhere, and they hated me. But
The thing I need, if you ever come across one, Jeff, or know
good night,
one, is a
good night, Sarge.
stock swing.
Is
I'm
it what?
just getting to the point where it's hard to lift the tailstock on and off the Powermatic. The thing is solid because it's the original model.
Those swings aren't cheap though.
No, they're 200 $250.
Yeah. That's what for my little Nova. It's basically a cast iron hinge and they want $198 for that to swing them. I can handle that tailstock with no problem. I have a stool setting off to the side of the lathe. I just move it over to that.
The
Yeah,
biggest
that's
the biggest
what I-
problem the biggest problem with the Nova and all the Technotools is that left-hand thread that adjusts the little plate underneath to lock the tailstock down. You only have to move it just a fraction too far and it's too loose, and if you put them too far back the other way, it's too bloody tight.
Yeah, I was dealing with that for a few days, and because I was experimenting with the lockdown handle on the banjo.
Yep.
When I had some weight on me, that stuck right into my gut when
Yeah.
I was hauling out a bowl. So I took the whole thing off and repositioned it and slid it back on so I could pull up on it, and it came up on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
And that worked out pretty good. But in sliding it out and bringing it back in, something came loose because there's a little grub screw that holds that nut into place, and that was apparently never tightened down. So it loosened up a little bit. I had a dickens of a time finding that right setting.
Yeah.
And
What
then
we had-
and then the bedway isn't a perfect thickness all the way across either. But I finally got it figured out.
Yeah, we had to, all the early 3000s, we had to cut out a washer of a Coke can on the tailstock, dismantle the whole thing on it and take the plate off underneath, lift the thing out, put a washer in there of a Coke can, put it back on.
Yeah. I went over to the hardware and I bought a fender washer that was 1 3/4 inches wide. And that really gave me a lot to work with, but I still had to fine tune it and everything so it would go slide along the bed okay, and not catch on some of the thicker spots. But I finally got it.
Yeah, that's one thing when I got the Powermatic that bothered me. The bottom lock washer, the disc that slides, and it was hard to slide with one hand. And I was used to the one I used at the tech shop. And why the tech shop worked so well is that when I started using it, I had one of the machinists there that had all the CNC machinery and the water jet, and I took the lathe apart and got a couple of long bodies. They took the bed out back and they machined the bottom side of the bedways perfectly flat. Now, and I took the big disc to do the clamping. I cleaned that up too. So
Yeah, Sarge, sorry. Yes, Sarge, I did see that. Beautiful, man. Looked fantastic. Thank you.
but I like to be able to use one hand to move the banjo all the time. Much easier.
Yeah. Yep. It
And
is.
slick stick that I've talked about before, that stuff that is fantastic stuff, even for cleaning CBN wheels. It solves the problem.
That's the
there.
stuff from Woodturner's Wonders, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ken Rizza.
Yeah. I've been using a stuff called Lamy Lube. It's a spray. It's a dry spray. And that works real nice.
But will that fix CBN wheels and clean them?
No.
That's what slick stick started coming out as.
Yeah.
But you don't put it on the wheel. You put it on your tool because the tool, as it's sharpening, pulls the metal out and sticks to it.
Yeah. Yep. No, this is strictly for like bedways. I also, when I'll take the green Scotch pad and I'll run that across the top of my tool rest and then give that a spray of Lamy Lube. And that really helps smooth things out. It's a great product. It's not cheap, but it's a great product. And I got that over at Production Tool Supply, one of their open houses.
Yeah, don't get out there anymore because unfortunately the doctor won't let me drive.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck.
Well,
Vision problems
I'm
that they
strange.
can't fix without surgery, and I'm too old for the surgery.
Yeah.
I
catch
don't
22.
I don't lubricate the beds of my lathes at all.
No?
I clean them down, and then because I do not want a tailstock sliding or anything coming loose while I'm working. In fact, on the bigger lathes, all our tool rests are actually bolt down. They
Hmm.
they bolt into place. There's no cam locks at all on them.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting design.
Well, we had a few I tried cam locks on one of them, but the vibration tends to shake them loose sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And when you got a ton of timber rotating in front of your face, you don't want anything to come loose. So
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a sook that way.
And see, I don't turn anything big enough to cause that problem for me.
No, well, that's right.
And
It's a whole different ball game when you're turning bigger stuff.
yeah.
But if I'm putting them into storage or something like that, if I know they're not going to be used, I just use, we've got stuff out there called Inox, which is a lanolin-based oil, and that does a great job. There's another one, S37 or something. That is absolutely fantastic. I've got that on all my saw benches and jointers and things like that because we're only 300 yards from the sea here.
Ah,
So we tend to get a little bit of salt air in the place occasionally.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'll send you a link afterwards, Jeff, about lathe maintenance. It might interest you.
Okay. Definitely. I appreciate it.
Share it with me too, if you would.
Yeah, it's a YouTube video I did a while ago. It's what most people forget to clean when they're doing their lathes.
It's amazing how bad some lathes look.
Oh,
When I got this Nova from Chuck, it was caked real thick with friction polish. I mean,
Yep.
we're talking a 1/4 inch thick. I had to take a really stiff putty knife and
Yep.
a dead blow
Scrape it
hammer.
off.
Dead blow hammer to get it all chipped off and everything like that. It was a really good looking lathe when I got all that off.
Yeah.
But man, it was up inside of the banjo. I had to take the banjo apart. Oh
Yeah.
my God, what a mess.
No, I bought a second-hand lathe once, and I ended up having to actually have it sandblasted. Was the only way to get it clean.
Wow. Well, I'm toying with the idea of taking off all the paint that's on there now, which is a gray. It's that industrial looking paint that they put
Yeah.
on a lot of stuff, and
Grey hammer tone.
yeah, exactly, and putting a new coat on, making a. When I wrote to Nova, I asked some questions about it and everything because I didn't know a lot of things about the lathe, and they sent me all kinds of stuff, including all the new stickers and everything to put on it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so one day I'll clean it all up and put a new coat of paint on. Gordon Rock up in Canada just got a one from a friend, and it was totally repainted to John Deere green, which is an interesting color for it.
Well, that's Canada, Ontario specifically.
Yeah.
Where John Deere started.
Yeah. I love listening to Gordon Rock talk because he talks perfect diction, perfect English.
Yeah.
So it's obvious he probably came up in a private school.
Yeah. And then Cade, of course, is from northeast of Toronto.
Yeah.
And you can tell a touch of French in there in his language when he talks.
Yeah, you can. There's
I
a
know
gentleman.
my family's all from around Toronto on my dad's side.
Oh, okay. There's a gentleman I've been following out of Canada. I'm looking up his name right now because it's eluding my brain. Let's see. It's not Bray's wood turning. Oh, it's asbestos in the Sprague wood turning.
Oh, Sprite. Yeah.
Yeah, he's out of a city that it's got it's the most interesting name I've ever seen. And I live in a state that has Indian names, you know. But he's on. It's coming up in the video right now. Petawawa, Ontario.
You can add links, Jeff.
Yep.
You can add links to the chat if you want. You've got a spanner now.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I've got I hate to say how old I am, but I've got like serial number 8 of one-way chucks.
Oh, wow.
They had made 10 or 20. I think they made 24 on spec for our company. And of course, that isn't their business. If they don't make, it never has been their business, but they're a machine shop. Because they do big stuff, like stuff for Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
You know, big stuff. And they, because one of the brothers or so wanted to do wood turning, and they didn't have a 4-way chuck that was designed for wood turning. So they made them. Then the company backed out on them. And that's the one-way chuck we know today. But the original ones, the pitch on the ring inside is different than the pitch of what they finally, after about 10 years of making them, they changed it because it was easier to drop the chuck key in by changing the pitch and getting not having it slip. And I knew it was old because they were just dumping them off there in Brantford, where my family's at, and they were selling them off to people. So it was interesting. And then I find that my chuck key for the new one I bought won't fit the old one, and vice versa.
Right.
So I have 2 chucks, same make, same model, except the ring and keys different. So I paint one red and one yellow.
You've actually got a piece.
Interruption for a minute. G'day, Shay. How are you? Jay wants to say something too.
Okay.
Do I?
Oh, I saw you reaching for the mouse, so I assume so.
No, I was just saying hello to Shay.
Yeah.
So you got a piece of history, Bob. Yep.
Well, I've got do from there.
I've got 3 of the Hurricane brand.
It was the first chuck ever made for wood turning. That wasn't a machinist chuck.
Okay. So I've got 3 of the Hurricane brand chucks. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, with one of them being the larger one. But so I've got 3 of everything. I got three of the wrenches. What's really nice with them is they're a good 10 inches long. So if you got a large bowl on, you don't have a lot of problems. That's one thing I really liked about them. But I got 3 of everything.
Yeah, I've got the big Hurricane like you do, and then
the 125.
The biggest set of jaws. They're super ones that they come out with, and I got that and a few other smaller ones. I'd like to get more when I can afford them.
Are you talking their coal jaws?
No, I wouldn't use a coal jaw. They're not safe. I'm talking about the standard.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to interrupt there for a minute. Jay, can you just show me that tenon, please, on that? Can you get it closer than that? Like camera closer, I mean, or around to the side a bit. I think you're bringing the curve straight up from the base of the tenon by the look of it,
Yeah,
down in that corner there.
I don't have much of a
Sorry?
choice. It was either that or it wasn't going to be that shape.
All right. Okay. Can you extend that tenon a little bit just to put about 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch of flat on the base of the bowl? Otherwise, it's likely to slip out when you put it in the chuck.
So it'll ruin
Because
the
it's
whole
got nothing.
carriage.
No, it won't. It'll be all right. Trust me. And that's looking pretty good at the moment, actually.
I'm glad you think so.
No, it's not the shape we wanted to start with, but it's okay. And just Shay says, I'm tired. My daughter fractured her foot and I just got home from the urgent care after my 10-hour work day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Bloody kids are a pain, aren't they, Shay?
Mine just turned 24 years old yesterday.
Mine are coming up for older than that.
Yeah. Well, we started late.
Oh, we started early.
We were both 40 years old when we adopted them.
Oh, right.
Yep. That was 22 years ago.
Yeah,
Been a constant source of amusement, amazement, and frustration.
Yep. As they're supposed to be.
Yeah, well, this is right. Yeah.
Yep. But I love it when I get out in the stores, and especially with guys who've got their little kids with them, and the kids are just being kids, and the guys are losing their mind and everything. And I always go up and I say, listen, you need to enjoy every second of this, because in a blink of an eye, they're all grown up and gone.
Yep.
I said, so you make sure you keep this as a good memory.
That'll do, Jay. That's fine. Yes, I read that, Shay, she says that they are fun. I fell yesterday myself. I'm ready for this week to be over.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's nearly over.
2 days ago, I slipped on ice because Paul, belonged to the wood turning club, DAW, got me some propane, and a couple other people replaced propane so I could continue turning in the garage. Cleaning ice off, I took one heck of a fall.
Oh.
And it did a number on my back.
Oh.
And it's like, we'll bring you some pain pills. And one of the pharmacists at the VA who lives in Dearborn, well, I shouldn't say it, but I got a home delivery because the mail would take too long. And not supposed to, but I've known him for a long time.
Yeah.
And I got the rest of them in the mail today. But I got 3 days worth that just happened to appear.
Well, I'm sorry that happened, though. That's a miserable thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got wrapped in a heating pad now. I got a long one I can put around me, and I got one I have in bed. But
Jesus, Shay, this is not, please take this compliment the way it's meant. You do not look old enough to have a 20-year-old child. So she was saying that she's got 20, 15, 13, 11, and 7, and a 3-year-old granddaughter. It's always exciting. Yeah, and you don't look as if you're old enough to have a 20-year-old child, I tell you.
Women hold their age. Just, men don't. I mean, look at me. I'm just 23 in a few months. How many months now?
Your nose is growing.
I'm not going to tell you.
There's a link there if you want to come in, Shay. No, well, the reason that men don't hold their age is because they're married to women. Now Shay will kill me for that one.
Definitely.
I was telling my son and I were joking around a couple of weeks ago, and I said, I don't know if you know this or not, but statistics show that men generally die before their wives. He goes, really? And I goes, yep. I goes, you know why? He goes, why? He goes, because they want to. That's an old joke. Oh, he busted out laughing.
Yeah.
I said, that's not my joke. I stole that. That joke is older than my grandfather.
Yeah.
That was probably one Henny Youngman used.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, I've heard that.
Hey, who said you could go quiet? That's illegal. It's illegal to go quiet. Stop it.
Uh-oh.
And Shay says, I have to agree with that one, Robbo. I'm a pain in the butt. So what, your poor old husband, he looks 120 years old, does he?
He covers it with a beard.
And she says, I'm on kid duty or I would jump on.
Where's she located at?
I forget where Shay actually is.
Alaska, I think.
Oh,
I could be wrong, but
She'll tell us in a minute.
they were actually warmer than we were a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was that way in 2015 when we had that Arctic snap come through for most of the winter. It was warmer up in Alaska because they sent all the cold down to us.
Oh, they like to share it around.
Yeah.
Well, the
I'm
Northwest
hiring-
Passage is open so far. It looks like it's never going to close this year.
Omaha in Nebraska she's from.
Oh, Nebraska. Okay.
miles off.
Yeah,
Omaha,
different.
Nebraska. I remember going there years ago for my job. I used to go out to the Strategic Air Command, Air Force Base. And I remember going out there after a snowstorm, and they don't use salt on the road. You know, they just had these massive plows come through, the most amazing things I ever seen. And then behind them was another set of trucks just putting sand on the road. And they had everything open up real quick. I was absolutely amazed by that.
Yeah, I've often wondered how much corrosion the salt on the roads over there give to vehicles.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, I'd imagine it would be.
Yeah.
Like I could never, in Australia, like most people keep their cars for 5-6 years, but in America they seem to change them every 2 years.
It never used to be that way. I know my grandparents, they averaged about 15 years on a car. But they were really big on keeping it up properly and doing all that stuff. And we kind of gotten away from that because it's almost impossible to do any work on a car anymore.
Well, that's true.
Yep. And I'm leasing, so I get a new car every 3 years. And that works out well.
When my wife was working, we used to get one every 3 years because she was leasing as well because it was a tax advantage for us.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I've got a car that was made in 1969. My old Toyota Ute, still going well. While things are going well, I keep using them.
Now, you said Toyota Ute. First time I heard that was watching that show, McCloud's Daughters. They're always talking about the Ute. Where's the Ute?
Yeah.
we always got a kick out of that.
Well, that's what they're called out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be right, Shay. The key is to keep the ice build up off the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I was younger, I always had Jeeps, 4-wheel drive, because I loved off-roading. But I always lived, where there was a lot of mountains and off-road trails until I worked, and finally the University of Michigan picked me up as a researcher, and from there to DC. And in DC, well, on the Beltway, you can't drive anyway fast.
Right.
It's bumper to bumper, and now the Beltway is a toll road.
Oh,
All
it
but
is.
one lane.
Okay. I haven't been on the Beltway since, oh, good Lord. When was that? Probably 95 was the last time I was on the Beltway.
Oh.
There's bloody Amber's toothbrush again. She's going to be upset tonight.
Oh, don't tell her. Blue's her favourite colour too.
Yeah.
So what are you using the
I-
toothbrush for?
I'm just cleaning the beeswax out of all the cracks.
Oh, okay.
I must admit, I use a heat gun for that. It's more exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
William Hunt, when he does the Hampshire Sheen, he likes to get it spread on, and then he uses a heat gun on it before he buffs it. Yeah. And boy, he gets a beautiful finish. So I've been meaning to give that a try.
I'm going to have to. I've got a heat
Of course,
gun handy.
I'm not using Hampshire Sheen. I've got Axe wood paste system, which is basically the same thing, but it's made over here and about half the price. They're both, great products.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, when I get some money ahead, get some. My Hampshire Sheen was a gift a couple of years ago for Christmas.
Mm-hmm. I've also on like ambrosia maple. After I've done I put the polish and stuff on. The little holes where the worms come out, that gets clogged up with the polish and stuff. And I just hit it with the air gun and it pops it right out.
I cheat. Got a saying around here: if it don't come out of a gun, it don't get done. We spray. We pretty well spray everything we do.
Yeah.
If we put a finish on, unfortunately, 99% of my work goes out raw. It's the client's problem to polish it and finish it after me.
Right. It's just like watching a YouTube video, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hold the product up there and.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, as somebody in a live said this morning that I was watching, it doesn't go on unless you hold the tin up to the camera.
Begging for a sponsor.
It's like my brother-in-law. He reckons my forklift doesn't go unless I've got a cigarette in my mouth. It's like the cowboy and his horse. This cowboy always rode his horse into town. He was always drunk, absolutely paralytic. And one night he went into town, didn't go to the hotel. He kept sober, and when he came up, the horse kicked him to death, and they figured that the horse thought it was a stranger.
Oh.
Oh, there's that illegal silence again. I'll have to cut your pays. Sorry.
Bum.
We're just watching you do your amazing work. You're
You should be
mesmerizing us.
Should be watching Robbo then.
No, I'm not doing anything at the moment. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Are you scheduled in to take over my live?
No, not yet.
Why not? Come on, you got the monitor sorted out.
I got the monitor sorted out. Thank you very much.
I know that. Now you can do it live. You can do it on my internet. I don't care.
Now all I've got to do is work out all the cabling. I've got to get some extra cables to extend them out.
I thought you'd be a professional cable layer by now.
I'll tell you what, I'm starting to get that way.
Wrong cables, Robbo. Sorry, but
Yes, I know what you meant. That's why I chose to ignore it.
Yeah.
No sense of humour, I'll tell you.
I'm terrible, aren't I? No sense
Yes.
of humour.
That's right, Muriel.
Yeah. Was a joke, Joyce.
Yeah, it is.
See, these youngsters don't know what we're talking about now.
No, they don't. There's a. That's just a common thing said here, really. Both of them. One of them is from a movie.
And the other one was, we had a bloke here called Graham Kennedy, and he had a show in Melbourne tonight, like your Tonight shows over there. And they did a skit of an elderly couple, and he used to dribble his tea down the side of his mouth, you know, and always had to be mopping up after himself. And and he'd say something, and he spoke like a typical Australian, real slow and everything, and he'd say something funny, and his wife would look at him, and he'd say, "It was a joke, Joyce." So Australian idiom has always been, "It's a joke, Joyce." And in our family, it was very applicable because my mother's name is Joyce. And she raised 5 boys. So she doesn't know whether she didn't know whether we were joking or not. So it was always, if something was going on, it's a joke, Joyce, you know.
That's great.
Look at this ugliness. You ready?
Like
Ready?
your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should be legally. I should be the only one that has to look at that. You know, in the mirror. Look at that. Look at the top of it.
That's all right. It'll come out. It'll be all right. Now, you're going to have to be careful turning the top of that because it's end grain.
Yeah.
Okay? Just to explain to Jeff, because he didn't see the original piece yesterday. That's actually a tree with a branch out. And where that branch is the top of the bowl. So it's going to be end grain coming out of there, not side grain.
Right. So there you got to turn from the inside out.
That's right, just until he gets out past it, and then he'd be right.
Right.
It's interesting, too. It's peppercorn, is it? You were saying yesterday?
Yeah.
The pepper we use in pepper mills.
So that grows on a tree then?
Yeah, peppercorns grow on a tree.
Yeah. Ours only got chopped down because it was deposited by a bird. Like it was shat there. A peppercorn seed was pooped out there, and we had a tree there, and it just overgrew. It just took over. Because they're generally generally around here anyway. They don't get any taller than about maybe 5 meters at the most. But they're also that round as well.
Mm-hmm.
But this one here, it grew like a Jack and the Beanstalk. I live in a 2-story, and it was taller than the 2-story within like 8 months.
Wow.
You got a lot of water, groundwater.
Well, I've always got a veggie patch in my backyard, so it was mostly just getting some from that.
But they don't sort of grow straight in most cases. They're all gnarly, twisted sorts of trees in a lot of cases.
Yeah,
I've
also
seen that in films from Australia. I've
And-
noticed that.
what was that, Jeff?
I said I've noticed that in films from Australia.
Yep.
All the gnarly looking trees and stuff.
Guys with the gnarly looking people, you know.
I wasn't going to say that.
Well, you got to be tough to grow up in Australia, see.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We would have agreed with you if you'd said it.
No.
I don't think any of our teams could survive in Australia. Maybe the
That'd be
big
right.
cities, but to rough it, no. They're
Yeah.
too pampered.
Oh, the Australia now is not the Australia I grew up in, that's for sure. But I think that's like all countries.
Yeah, I think every generation can say that.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's what I was telling my son and I were talking about that the other day. Talking about, when I was a kid, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have computers, we didn't have tablets. We went out and played.
Yep.
And play now is all inside. Kids don't go out anymore. And I said, 50 years from now, they're going to look back at you and go, man, I wish I had it like that. Or, you guys, you didn't have anything. You think you got everything, but 50 years from now, you're not going to have anything.
Yeah. And actually that has caused, like the kids being inside, has caused a lot of health problems in some of them because they're not getting vitamin D.
Vitamin D, they're not getting exercise, so there's obesity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
We only ever had one fat kid at our school, and I was in a school with 1,000 pupils, or 998 to be precise.
Mm-hmm.
But there's probably only two fat kids in the whole thing. One of them had a glandular problem, and the other one was an Italian. So his mama used to feed him, like his lunchbox was like my toolbox, like it was that bloody big. And
Yeah. They know how to eat. Yep.
Oh yeah, but the best part was he had food that none of us had ever seen. Like we used to take a sandwich, an apple, and a piece of fruitcake to school,
Yeah.
But he had these rolls and things with tomatoes and lettuce and stuff in them,
Yeah.
and it was trade off at lunchtime because he loved Vegemite sandwiches, and so yeah, cut off an inch of the broil,
Yeah, they know how to eat over there. Yeah.
and yeah, Johnny Santa Maria, but no, we're all skinny little wretches of kids,
Mm-hmm.
Now I sort of walk down the street and think, geez.
Well, listen,
Well,
gang,
yeah,
I'm going to have to call it a night because I got to get up early.
No worries, Jeff. Good to see you in.
Good to see you always. Good to see you, Bob and Jay.
Yeah, appreciate you coming in.
No, I'll probably be back next Wednesday. I think Wednesday is going to be my night for dropping in.
No worries.
That seems to work out with my schedule really well. And then tomorrow I'm spending the day in the shop working on the urn for Avery. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
a lot of glue up to do. It's all segmented.
Right. All right. Well, stay safe.
You guys also take care.
Yep.
See ya.
Take care.
Good
Bye.
seeing you all. Okay.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
you too.
Yeah, it's 11:22 here. I probably ought to get to bed because I got to make sure the kids are up in the morning.
All right, thanks for coming in, Bob. Take it easy.
All right.
Tomorrow's
See you later, Bob.
school day, school day.
Oh, yeah. I hope your back's starting to feel a bit better.
Yeah.
Well, the heat does help. And
that's
the
good.
pills, once that takes effect, I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, appreciate it. See you later tomorrow.
See ya. Bye.
Take care, you too. Bye now.
Now, another way that you could do this, Joe, is to do a slicing cut across the face. Like put the chisel at 45 degrees
Yeah.
and just treat it as side grain, right? And just come straight across towards the centre.
All right. Sorry, you have to repeat the first part of that because Amber was talking to me.
Oh, sorry, right. You can treat it as side grain. Like if
Yeah.
you put the chisel at 45 degrees and then slice it straight towards the centre. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way of doing it.
All right. No, there's a dog has come up at the RSPCA here,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and it's a girl, and our last dog was a boy, and this dog is a splitting image
Oh,
of our dog, and I mean when I mean a splitting image, Amber cried when she seen her.
yeah.
So the same markings, same spots. It's just very uncanny.
Jay wanted a girl dog.
Well, actually, girls are easier to look after than boys in that respect.
Yeah,
Hmm.
just got to make sure you get them desexed so they don't bleed everywhere.
Well, that's right. The RSPCA normally does all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's neutered, vaccinated, wormed, desexed.
Yeah,
It's basically the only thing she hasn't done is rang up and said, "When can we pick it up?"
yeah.
I have to stay here. I can't go to Victoria because she's only a puppy.
Oh, did you hear that?
Nah.
I have to travel to Victoria by myself if we buy this dog. How rude's that? We can just bring the dog, can't we?
Oh, you're more than welcome to.
I'm sure we get along with you better anyway.
Inquiries.
Why is it that fate just knows I'm getting money soon, you know?
I,
Like,
look, I told you about the bloke that wrote an article in the Reader's Digest, didn't I, about don't open it in front of the fridge.
mm-mm.
Well,
No.
there's an article in Reader's Digest. This bloke said that when he used to get his mail,
Yep.
he used to open all his mail in the kitchen, you see.
Yep.
If there was a check amongst the mail, some electrical appliance would stop, and he'd have to replace it.
Yeah.
So he thought, rightio. So he opened the mail then in the car. So the car required major work after that. He now goes out into a paddock and opens the mail under a tree, and he said, "I'm just hoping the tree doesn't fall on me."
Yeah. Sounds like he got struck with my luck. I made the tenon a little bit smaller than I did yesterday, so the jaws close up a little bit more.
Yeah, I thought the calipers might be creeping a little bit.
Yeah. Last time I checked them, they were still on point, but maybe they're not anymore. You better go and ask your boss before you have that as a definite answer, having a dog as well.
It'll be okay. Julie will spoil it rotten.
I didn't really want to dog this early, but
No, I know that.
some things can't be helped, I suppose.
Exactly. Just close that flute down just a fraction, Jay.
Sorry, what was that?
Close the flute down a little bit. That's better. You can probably close it down just a fraction more. What did you do? Kneel against the switch?
Yeah. It's looking pretty gnarly in there. I know it's getting taken out, but yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go up any further, eh?
No, I'd see where your forefinger is there. No, back, where that one is. Take it down to that, I reckon.
Right.
Then see what it looks like.
Their website.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow morning before 9 o'clock, because they don't open till 10. So if she's still up on the website tonight or tomorrow morning, she's available. But if she's not on there tonight, she got adopted.
Okay.
I don't know where to get $500 from.
Close the flute down a bit, Jay. Close the flute. More. You can actually feel it in the cut when you got it right. Dark's asked to send him a link. That's There's one up. There's one up in the chat, not far up. Dark. Ah, you sexy devil.
You sexy Tasmanian devil, you.
All right, now that Dark's here, it's time to turn the live off.
Yeah.
Damn, you could just told me that before I went through all the trouble to get in here.
I'm so scared of him now. I have to leave. Sorry.
How you doing, Jay?
Oh, pretty fabulous. It must have been you that jinxed me. How you going there? And how's your wife today?
Oh, she's ready to come home. She's sick of being there, but I guess she's doing better, from what I understand.
Yep.
Yeah, just make sure. Sorry, Doc. Just make sure that that's seated right onto the chuck.
Yeah, it
Right?
was. Yeah, it was.
Well, why'd you take it off then?
Tell the truck that. It flew out.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, just as you came in, to be honest.
Huh. Probably need to learn to do your dovetails better.
Piss off. Get on your bike. Get on your horse and.
My high horse?
Yeah, your high heels. That's it.
High heels. How'd you get heels on a horse?
I don't know. Because it's you, I suppose. Anything goes, doesn't it?
Oh, well, I guess. Ooh. There. Now I'm sexy.
Uh-oh. Now you got more rubber.
Did you get your monitors all squared away, Robo?
Sorry.
Your monitors. Did you get them all squared away?
Yes, thank you. Jay got it worked out.
Yeah, that's awesome. He does an awesome job at helping, doesn't he?
Does.
You've got to be good at something.
Well, I would say keeping your wood in the chuck, but, well, we all know that ain't true.
Hey! What have you been doing today, Dark?
Absolutely nothing.
Well, that's not good enough. Get out of here. Go on. We want productive people in here.
I'm waiting for them to come out with a new challenge for that YTCCC challenge thing.
Oh, yeah.
Cross community challenge.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I hope they don't choose a bowl or something because.
Well, that'll be fun to carve. You can just do a small one.
Yeah, well, maybe.
No maybes about it.
Now, do you see why you flicked that bowl out?
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Have a look around this side and see where the gouge hit. Had no option but to screw over the top of it.
Yep. Yeah, you get that. I'll just cut it off with a saw.
Where did it screw up at?
Well, see on the bowl where the tailstock is, right there where Jay's finger is. He hit the centre part. Too much wood there, too much force, and it just screwed itself off the chuck.
Oh, yeah.
Who said the force may be with you? Not with me.
You're probably right to start hollowing that bowl out now. It's down about as far as you need to go anyway. What,
you reckon just hollow through that? Won't that make it wobbly?
No. Yeah, you've got to hollow out the bowl anyway, right?
Yeah, I would.
So, yeah, I'd cut that off with a saw probably.
That's what I just said, and you said no.
No, I'd turn it off with a chisel, but
yeah, I would too, but
This is Jay we're talking about.
Are you really gonna use that saw?
Yeah, bloody oath. I like chopping fingers off. Don't you like it?
Put your spindle lock in, Jay. Why make life hard for yourself?
Yeah. Smashing my monitor stand.
You need one of those little Japanese pole saws, man.
He's got another saw. I don't know why he picked
Got
that
one.
one up.
That saw there is cutting greenwood. That's cutting greenwood, Dave.
See? I would have been here for months of Sundays doing that with the other saw.
Can't see nothing, man. Now that particular saw, the teeth on that is made for cutting greenwood.
Yeah. I don't cut greenwood. I got this one. I got this one, but
That one's for cutting. Well, that's for cutting miters, but yeah, it's for drywood. I got a saw just like I got a saw kind of like that. It's same style saw, just it's prettier. No, mine's bright yellow. It has to be so I can find it.
I'm glad you admitted it.
I'm fairly honest about what I do.
Fairly honest.
Yeah, fairly honest. Don't forget to take. Yeah,
It doesn't spin very well, does it?
and I don't know how good that would be for your lathe to leave that in there. Turn it on.
It's got belts. It's all right. It's not all right, but it's got belts. If anything was to happen, it'd just slip or stop.
That's one thing I'm nervous about is if my belt breaks, man. If my belt breaks and I have to change a belt, that's a big job, I would imagine.
I don't think anyone would want your trousers falling down in the middle of the shopping centre.
Yeah, that'd be great. I just start screaming, Black Lives Matter.
But only if you go down on your knee, Jay. Dark.
Oh, yeah. Screw that.
And then they'd have to get the ambos in to lift you up.
You know, I find it very funny that, you know, the other day I was at Walmart with my wife and my boy, and there a bunch of them goofy SOBs came in there and were screaming through a megaphone. You know, Black Lives Matter, so on and so forth, right? And I thought
that come loose again.
You know, Jay, what I would do is I would put that on a woodworm screw and return that tenon, and if not turn the tenon, turn a mortise. The tenon would be stronger, but from the looks of things, you probably need a mortise because your tenon skills are just kind of shaky.
No, normally it gets the tendons pretty good, but I need to have a look at the shape of the tenon. That's what I need to have a look at.
I'm just giving them hell. Somebody's got to pick at them. You're way too easy on it, bro.
A lot of people don't think so.
Oh man,
I used to get
that whip.
You know, like when he was first starting off, and I was saying, look, no. The amount of bloody messages I got on Facebook, oh, you're too bloody hard on him, you know, like he's just learning, blah, 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 blah.
That's the best way to be on them, though, is when they're fresh like that. You know, I mean, when you're teaching somebody something, that's when you want to be hard on them, so they don't make the mistakes again.
Exactly. No, but I didn't consider myself being hard, you know.
Right. I like Jay. I like picking on him. He's a lot of fun.
I thought that was a common theme. You just like picking on everybody.
I do. And well, and not so much new people right away because you know you got to give them time to learn what I'm about. You know, let them warm up to me a little bit before I start really giving them hell. You know.
Gotta break them in gently.
Yeah, especially nowadays with all the snowflakes.
Yeah.
I've been banned from a few live streams for that.
I've always had a thing that I love wood turning because it's nobody else's fault but yours. You can't blame anybody else for doing a stuff up.
No. Well, I usually blame David. You know which David I'm talking about, right? I can never remember his last name. Starts with an M, if I remember right.
Yeah, Dave McClemmer.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He puts up with a lot for me. I tell you what. I give him a lot of credit because he puts up with a lot of crap for me. He's got a wonderful wife too, Tammy. She's a nice lady. Jay too. Jay's a nice lady too.
Like me.
Well, you got camera off, Jay. Huh? You don't want to see what you're screwing up? Yeah.
What I'm actually doing is I've realised that there's a whole heap of gunk in my chuck jaws.
Ah, right.
And I'm cleaning that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I like to use on my lathe, and usually with the chuck I just use an air compressor and blow it all out.
Oh, the only air compressor I've got is my natural lungs.
Oh, that sucks. Another good way to do it is to take a paintbrush and turn your lathe on, open your jaws up, turn it on, and then just take that paintbrush and stick the bristles of the paintbrush inside that chuck and get it out of there. And then I like to take it off and beat it on the workbench a couple times real lightly to tap the dust out of the back of it.
Yep. No, knowing my luck, I'd get a catch if I did that. Sandpaper and a razor blades fixing it. Quick! Oh, stop talking about him now. He's got his headphones back on.
Hey, you know, I keep taking them off because you're loud, but I keep forgetting it's got a volume control.
Showing your age now, Doc.
Yeah.
Would you like us to speak a bit slower too, so you can understand us?
Yeah. I like it when you speak slow.
Now I can't understand you. Sorry.
You're using sandpaper on your chuck? Is that what you said?
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Shame on you.
Yeah, I know, right? It's also taking the lovely green off too, you see?
Oh, man.
No, we can't see.
I know. That's the whole point.
That's because we'd be yelling at you. I'd be yelling at Robo to yell at you. Robo, get him.
There you go. Is that what you want to see?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't use sandpaper on it, Joe. Cheers.
Yeah, you'll mess your chuck up doing that, man.
I can't mess it up any more than I already have.
No, the toothbrush should get most of it out.
No.
use a stiff bristled paintbrush.
I was using that to start off with because it was so cemented on there.
Right. All right. Close your jaws down. You're talking about the face, were you?
And in here.
Yeah. Well, just close that down.
Could you do it quicker, please?
Yeah. Now, get a block of wood and just put a bit of sandpaper on and just touch it against the face evenly, all right?
But don't use sandpaper.
No, well, you can use sandpaper on that because you're not going to take much off, but it's got to be flat. Right, that'll do it. That's plenty. Right. Now clean out the inside of it.
And that gook you're talking about would probably come out a lot easier with a toothbrush and some denatured alcohol.
Yeah, wash it out rather than try and get it out with a sandpaper, because if you destroy that little dovetail at the front there, the chuck becomes useless.
Yep. You'll be buying new jaws.
So it'll be like its owner.
The jaws will be junk. Now, Robo, weren't you saying that the Nova chuck, they don't have a dovetail, do they?
No, they don't.
An outer dovetail, but not an inner, right?
Yeah, on their standard jaws, none of them have a dovetail on the inside. But their bigger jaws do have dovetails.
I have to remember that. My G3 don't then.
No, the G3 is parallel on the inside, so you just put a parallel thing. And then people try to put a little groove up against the thing to allow the little ring around the front. And that's the worst thing you can do, because it's made to bite in on that and pull it into the chuck.
Okay. That's good to know. Because I was curious about that, because I was looking at it. There ain't no dovetail on this damn thing.
Yeah.
If it is, it's very little. Whatever, I'll just try to match it up the best I can. But yeah, I know what you're talking about, the little groove thing, because I've done that.
Yeah.
Thinking that I needed to do that. I won't say I haven't, because I'm a newbie, man. I'm just learning.
No, that's all right.
That's why I'm asking all these questions, because
Yeah.
the only bad question is the one that isn't asked.
Sorry, Dark. I didn't have any denatured alcohol to use this instead.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right, buddy. Yeah, I understand. You could use soapy water.
We're colonials down here.
Yeah. I'm just glad it was clear and not purple.
Yeah, not enough of us drink it. Unlike some countries.
Yeah, you had to be pretty hard up for a drink to drink some alcohol.
Yes.
Used to be a few around that did.
Oh man. I could understand if it was corn alcohol, but rice alcohol even, but wood alcohol? No. You could probably make your own. You could probably make your own denatured alcohol, Jay, if you had a still. You make it just like you do corn whiskey, except that you use wood instead of corn.
I know mine, like I'd blow myself up.
You'd only do it once.
And then I'll be everywhere.
All over my down under. Look how excited Robo got when I said that. Oh my!
I know, right? he hides his expressions under that growth. Come on, you're a bit dry today, Robbo. Bloody hell, mate.
Yeah.
Tired?
No, I got something in my eye this morning. It's just been bloody aggravating me.
Eyeball?
No, I hope that's still there. Otherwise, I look like a pirate.
Hardy, har. You know what? I'm gonna
Kind of a slow night tonight, huh, guys?
I can get
Yeah.
three jaws to sit up against it, and the fourth one doesn't want to.
That could be the wood, man. That might not be your chalk. Could just be a bad tenon. Your tenon's probably uneven
Oi.
and too long.
About enough out of you, thanks.
No, it could well be a bad tenon now that it's been thrown out a couple of times.
Or whatever.
You won't think that when it flies off and hits you in the toe
Yeah.
or the knee or other appendages.
This wood's being very frustrating.
It is.
Oh, it's 2 hours. What a shame.
I'm frustrated just watching you keep messing with that bad tenon.
What do you keep calling yourself that, Doc? A bad tenon?
I'm telling you, man, you should just put a woodworm screw in the face of it, turn it around, and put it in the chuck and turn a new tenon. Even a mortise would be good. At this point, I'm thinking mortise.
Hey, Robbo.
Oh yeah.
Can you just poke Doc in the ear for me, please?
Which way do I gotta go? I can't work out which fucking.
You gotta go that way.
Oh, wait on, Doc.
Sorry, I moved him.
You know, Jay, if I were you, I would put a worm screw in there. Turn it around.
I'll put a worm screw in you in a minute.
Hi, Bobby.
G'day, Bobby.
Come and get control of this dark matter, will you? Thanks.
Hey. There ain't no control of me, man. I'm out of control.
Change your name to Fusion. DIY Fusion.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if I can rip it out of the truck this time, eh?
Here it goes.
See how straight it is.
If it happens again, Jay, I would put a woodworm screw in there. Turn it around and make a new tenon or mortise.
Hey, Bobby. Doc wants to ask you a question.
I do? Oh, I do. Hey, Bobby, do you think that Jay should put a woodworm screw in there and turn it around and put a new tenon in?
Robbo, where's that voodoo doll?
It's just here.
Oh, yay!
You've made worldwide recognition there, Doc, with that voodoo doll.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is, my friend.
Yeah, I know, right?
It is. I don't mind, Would explain why my knees have been hurting all day, though.
Well,
Hey, even Bobby says a woodworm screw will fix it. Thanks, Bobby. I knew Bobby knew what I was talking about. I don't know what the problems he's been having with that tenon. I'd almost be nervous to use it. What kind of wood is that, Jay?
peppercorn.
Okay. I never heard of it.
No,
Must be a down under tree.
I don't know whether it's indigenous to Australia or not, actually.
I don't think there's many in Michigan. if any.
You know where your pepper comes from, Doc?
Yeah, the store.
Nice one. How you going, Cade?
G'day, Cade.
Hi,
Hey,
Kate.
how's it going?
He's come for the entertainment too. I think Doc's got a question for you, Cade.
Kate, do you think that Jay should put a woodworm screw in that, turn it around, put a tenon on it, or a new mortise or tenon with a woodworm screw? But he can't now because he's done, unless he's got a super large woodworm screw.
Yeah, true.
He done broke it.
I don't know. Should be fine as long as he doesn't get a catch.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
We've already been there. We have to think up a new question now because if he says that Dark's got a question for you, I ain't gonna be able to use the woodworm screw one now because he's done messed it all up. You know, you make it very hard to turn vicariously through you, Jay.
How you going, Tommy? Tommy, please ignore Doc.
G'day, Tommy. How are you?
Hi, Tommy.
Hey, Tommy. How's it going?
Tommy, do you think that Jay should have used the woodworm screw? But watch out, Jay. Tommy's got my back, man. He ain't gonna take your crap, big bully. Been mean to me and Robo all night. Just invited me and Robo up here to be mean to us, I know. Then you go blow kisses at Cade.
Mhm.
So what you been up to, Cade?
Keeping busy. Turned
Yeah.
a whole pile of spurtles today. Got
Of
more
what?
to turn tomorrow.
Spurtles.
Spurtles, yeah.
What the hell's a spurtle?
Everyone asked me that. A spurtle is a fancy stir stick.
Oh,
It goes back to Scotland. They used to make them back in the day. That's sort of where it originated from, and they would use these fancy sticks to stir their porridge, or Italians had a version where they would stir their pastas and pasta sauces, but it's
I thought you were
basically
just being
fancy stir
funny.
stick.
I'm going to have to look that up and see what the hell a spurtle is.
Yeah, I can show you. I have a whole box of them downstairs. There's some too.
I
Yeah.
don't want to have to make you run nowhere, man. I just look it up and see. Oh, okay. It's like a wooden paddle, kind of, right?
Yeah, like a robo.
You're on mute, Robbo.
You're talking, but we can't hear you.
That might be a good thing. No, they're just wooden stirring sticks with a round end on them to stop them catching in the corners of saucepan, so porridge doesn't stick down in the bottom of the saucepan.
Oh yeah, they got some here that look like billy clubs.
Yeah.
No, they're a bit smaller than the Billy Club.
I bet they'd work.
Yeah.
Like
Come here,
I
you
wouldn't mind getting hit on the head with that, but I don't know about a Billy Club.
Yeah, that wouldn't hurt too much.
No.
Mine are different. I'm sure everyone who makes them, they probably
I know.
have different variations on the
I
design.
forget right off what it's called, but my cousin wants me to make them. I forget what they call them, but they're just little round little round like dolls, and they got like maybe that much of. Get my damn head out of the way. That much of a point on each end of them, and you hold them in your hand like you would a roll of quarters for fighting, and
Yeah,
you drill a
little
hole in
fist
one end of
filler.
them. Huh?
Little fist filler.
Yeah, I forget what they call. They actually have a name. I just can't remember what it is offhand. But he wants me to make him some of them so that he can have one for himself, his wife, and so he can give some away to his friends. And
That's cool.
it's women like them because of a lot of the bullcrap that's been going around where they're being abducted from the stores and stuff.
Yeah.
So you have one of those, man, you'll put the hurt on somebody quick.
Yeah, I've made a couple sort of fighting sticks or self-defense sticks for a couple friends and women, and they're pretty
Oh,
cool.
were you hiding that up the back of the cupboard, were you?
Yeah.
Geez, that emptied it out. You must have a big glass.
Might as well empty it. Can't leave a little tease in there for later. So that's all right.
Puts everything back so the wife doesn't know he's been in there.
Right.
His private stash.
Yeah, I tried to find it. I can't find it. It's easier to find stuff on Google when you know the name.
It is.
Yeah, it's true.
And Bobby says, Jay, I can tell you have so much more confidence now when you're turning.
Yeah.
A Kubaton.
Cheers.
We always carried around a Bic lighter for a fist filler rather than like a piece of wood or even a rock.
These are called Kubatons, and they're just basically a wooden doll.
A Kubaton?
Some of them are made out of metal and have spikes on them, but that's if you really want to do some damage.
Yeah, that's sort of what I put on the self-defense stick. So it's basically a Kubaton with a ball on one end with a spike.
No, that's different.
Tapered spike on the other end.
Let's see.
It would do some damage.
I want to make some canes this spring or summer. Just depends on finding the right wood to do it.
Oh, I'll have to show you something. I have some downstairs I make it for a friend.
Okay, let's see if I can share screen. I don't know if I can share screen or not. Whatever.
All right.
Well, it says I'm showing, but
that's good, Tommy. Glad you about that.
Hang on, dark. I've got to put it. Oh, it was showing. I had to actually put it up dark.
Oh, okay.
There we are.
How you going, Tommy? I don't know if I said that before, but
there we go.
All right, let me see.
They're real easy to make, man, and they're great. They're great for gifts. The ladies like them. Guys like them too.
For more than one reason, eh?
Well, I don't know, but in Jay's case, probably.
Wait.
But yeah, they're great little, you know, like if you wanted to make some and take them to a where you sell your molds at, so one of those places that, you know, like a flea market or something, you know.
Yep.
Craft fair, you know.
Yeah.
I think you put a you know, $2, $3, $5 sticker on them. I'm betting you would probably sell a lot of them. You know, once you explained what they were for. And all you do is you drill a hole on one side, put a key ring through it. Yep, that's all I wanted to show. I wanted you to understand what I was trying to explain, because sometimes I'm not very good at explaining stuff. Like how Jay should have used the woodworm screw.
Definitely.
No read between the lines. You're just getting the finger, buddy.
What you doing there, Cade? There's a fancy looking lathe you're using.
Yeah,
what is
it's
that?
Pretty fancy.
What is that, Jet?
It's
I'm just guessing.
one way. One
Oh,
way.
it says that on the back, yeah.
Yeah. So one
Never
way.
heard of them.
2436.
Never heard of it. Usually the Jets are white like that. That's why I guess Jet. I'm gonna paint my Harbor Freight lathe yellow and call it a Dark-O-Matic.
Dark-O-Matic. That's great. Where's my damn phone? There. Over here.
Yeah,
This is about the most we've seen of inside Cade's shop, other than his plastic, his murder room. I mean,
Oh yeah.
your murder room.
Yeah. This is my massive lathe. Well, not as massive as Robo's, but
he is a manly man.
Yes, Tommy, that is the bowl he started yesterday.
Me and Jay were talking about. Jay said that he thinks Robo's overcompensating for something, but I'm not getting into that.
Did you, Tommy? Did you ever watch Dexter? I mean, he's got nothing on Cade.
yeah, this is my Dexter room. So here is my sort of spurtles. There's a couple there.
Yeah, them are cool.
There's another one.
You know, I never even heard of a spurtle until like just now.
Where do the ladies put the batteries?
Wherever.
Would you like to know, Jay?
Right?
That's why I was asking Cade. He's a bloody maker. Bloody sugar plum.
Battery operated spurtle, huh?
There's the
Yeah.
few.
Oh yeah, nice.
But did you get an order for them or something? Or are you
Yeah.
just doing it for like a craft fair or something?
No, I got an order for a couple hundred.
Wow. That's a
So-
lot of them.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, replicator, or are y'all just freehanding it?
all by hand, just by hand, by eye.
I was looking at I can't remember I think it was on eBay. I was looking at a replicator. They wanted too much money for it, though.
Waste of time.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
storyboard. Good storyboard will pretty much do the same thing.
Yep, just repetition.
And Jay's next lesson from Robo's gonna teach Jay how to use a woodworm screw.
There you go. That would be a good one.
Tommy's talking about a murder room. Hi, John.
G'day, John.
Hey, John.
Hey, John, what's your thoughts on it, buddy? Do you think that Jay should have used the woodworm screw?
How you going, John? Just ignore Doc.
Dark has a fixation at the moment.
Yeah. I usually do on something.
Doc's record got stuck.
I'm going to make myself a cup of tea, Jay. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, no worries.
Make me a bacon sandwich, too, while you're at it, will you?
No, go to buggery.
Oh,
So that's Australian hospitality for you.
yeah. Yeah, tell me to bugger off. Cage wants one, too.
Yeah, sure. Double. Yeah.
We don't want the same as what Dark's having, Cade, because we've only got one antidote.
For what?
The Dark's poison.
Yeah, he wants to block me already. God, I ain't even been on here an hour yet, and you already want to block me.
Nah, it's more fun doing it to your face, Dark. I don't want to do it behind your back. What do you?
Yeah, well, it is what it is. You wouldn't be the first live stream I've been blocked from.
Hey, what do you want? I
You
don't
would be the
block.
last.
I don't block people. I just give them admin rights.
Yeah. Invite them in on your live streams. You be careful doing that. Yeah, I know you've been pretty lenient about throwing your link out there in the world chat there. But you gotta be careful sometimes when you get the wrong person to come in here and he'll show up naked or something. And well, I don't know if he can really nowadays with the
All
stream.
right, Dark. So from now on, we won't let you in the chat. Okay, since you've just threatened us with nakedness.
You won't see it from me. Nobody wants to see that. But I don't think you have to worry about it too much with StreamYard. But it used to be with Google Hangouts. You threw the link out, and when they came in, they just came right in. And occasionally, you would get a troll or something that would pop in, and he'd be stark raving naked, talking about Tommy's workshop.
I just figured everyone liked lollies, so I was handing them out like lollies. Yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Birdie. No.
So how many more do you got to go on them, Cade?
Like 75 or so.
Oh my! Take a while, or is it just like zip, 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 and it's done?
Each one. I don't know. Each one takes a few minutes.
Were you using like a 2x2? Like
No.
like
1 by 1 or 1 by 1.5.
yeah. That's why I was thinking about that.
They're all marked out centered, so I don't even stop the lathe. I just crank the quill out, put it back in between the two pinholes, and then tighten the quill as I remove my hand so I don't get whacked by the corners. And then
That would hurt.
turn it, and then catch it, part it off, put the next one on, turn it, catch it, part it off. So each one's just a few minutes.
Thanks, Tommy. I love you too, buddy.
So
Says I
they're
don't
pretty good.
need a troll. Don't need a troll when you're here, Dark. Yeah. Trolls do have a hard time keeping up with me. They could learn a thing or two from me, that's for sure. It's not hard to be a troll. The key to being a troll is to be able to be a troll and still have people keep you in their live streams. That's the hard part.
Mm. Yeah.
Gotta be a fun-loving troll. Sounds good.
Uh-oh.
What?
Nothing.
You're the man, kid. You're the bestest.
What are you doing now, you naughty boy?
Uh-oh. Doc said, what happened? I said nothing.
You got in trouble a lot as a kid, didn't you, Cade?
Of course. More fun that way. What's
Never.
the word today?
Never a truer word spoken, Tommy. Don't need a troll when you're here, Dark.
And yet you let me keep coming back.
I know.
Gary,
Oh, shit.
I can already tell you,
Hi, hon.
Kate's probably favorite sentences as a
infringement.
kid. Wasn't me. I didn't do it. And I forgot the third one. Damn.
Hey, Doc, do us a favour, will you? Shut up for a minute. No, I don't care. I'm just giving you shit, dude. I need Robbo's attention, but he's taking his freaking headphones off.
You're always so mean to me, Jay.
Oh, he's talking
Oh,
to the
someone
wife.
has to be. Sorry, what's that, Code?
He's talking to the wife.
Yeah. No, there's no smile on his face. He can't be. He's normally got a grin from ear to ear. That's how you can tell when she walks in the room, you see.
Yeah.
Like a rather thin there.
Yeah, I can't prove anything. Yeah.
Nothing. Not that thin.
Yeah, it's got the side goes off on an edge, but it's flat too, so.
Yeah. It's like 1/8 of an inch.
I won't be a smart ass. I'll just go grab my ruler and see what that is in millimeters. Can I just say that was my worst subject in school was fractions, all right? That's all I gotta say.
1/4 inch in millimeters is 7 millimeters.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, it's about a millimeter across there.
Like 6.5.
Right there. It's very, very thin, but Robbo.
What?
Yeah, a mil. So like
See,
a
if you would have put
16
that woodworm screw in like I told you.
right?
Can I kick Doc out now?
Now wormwood screw would have fixed everything. Uh-oh.
See, even Kate agrees.
What's that?
Robbo knows what it is, and Doc knows what it is too.
Yeah, tell him to read between the lines.
Read between the lines. You don't get that one?
Yeah.
I'll take the lines away. Oh, man.
Why you be mean to Kate? He ain't done nothing but sit there and show you his wooden screw.
Oh,
And he never said one word about a word screw.
he said several words, actually. But, you know, it's a common theme in here. If someone's not giving you shit.
I tried, Kate. Sorry.
I think it's crooked.
It is.
Yeah, totally crooked. Wormwood screw would have fixed it all.
Right.
All right, I'm just gonna do something for a sec.
Oh wow. Oh my.
Does it sit there? Yeah, it sits there. Cool. Can you see better now? Is that better?
Yeah.
No, your hair's in the way.
That seems better, right? It's not so crooked now?
Yeah, it's still pretty crooked.
Yeah.
I'll just put that down to the user. You don't want to put that down to the user?
Robo, what are you teaching this kid?
Right?
Well, there was supposed to be a calabash bowl, but Jay mucked up the bottom of it.
He calabashed it, huh?
Mucked it up.
Sorry, what was that, Kate? Can't hear you over Jay, sorry.
Oh, did I make a noise? Sorry. Oh. Sorry,
Oh,
did I make a noise? Oh.
What's in my pocket? Oh, shit.
Oh, he's playing Pocket Pinball live on the YouTube.
No.
Oh my. Look, you're getting Tommy all excited, Cade.
Right?
Settle down out there, Tommy. You're being way too aggressive in the live chat. I gotta be nice to Tommy. He's probably our only watcher right now. Him and John. You know, I've showed my face on your live streams, Jay, more than I've shown my face on my own channel in probably 6 months.
Well, that's because people know you're on your own channel.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, usually when I'm videoing or something, then I'm doing what Jay is. You know, you shoot what you're working on. Nobody wants to see my mug. Except Cade. Look at him all excited over there. Cheeks are all flush. Oh my.
Mm-hmm. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How you doing? Just want to
Great. Hey Jay. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right, sweet cheeks. How about you?
Pretty good.
Hey, that's 2 for 2 on the cheeks thing there,
I can't do that. It doesn't work. How you doing? Is that what you wanted? Nah. You're pretty close to getting it the same as friends, Kate. You're not far off.
Yeah, not bad. Oh snap!
Won't be long. You'll have a nice beard going there, Cade.
Yeah, shortly.
Yeah,
he's gotta
he's
catch-
getting there, buddy.
Got to catch up to the rest of us, doesn't he, Doc?
He does.
Yeah, I get it
He's
so
got-
long and then
He got a good starter beard going, though, man.
quite complain.
Good starter.
Well,
That's just because you have to learn how to use the bottom whiskers more, and she'll enjoy it.
yeah. Hey Jay, is that right?
Oh, you talking to Jay? Man, the cat could come and lick off what he's got.
What are you on about now?
Your beard.
Have a train.
Jay can't grow one.
Oh, I've been growing one. Do you want to see it? I'll show you if you want.
Is it a chia pet?
What, the 12-month growth?
Did you get a chia pet beard?
No, when I had my Blackwood allergic reaction, I couldn't shave. You see? So look at that. Whoa! Look, I've got actual hair on there. Look at that.
Oh, there you go.
He had some mutton chops, man.
Bum fluff.
Grow
That's
the
all
mutton
it
chops
is.
out.
Doc, I got a present for you.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I always worry with people.
Do you like that present? No one can hear you now.
That's great.
Oh, big tough guy with the control panel.
That's the new up and version of a keyboard warrior. It's a mouse warrior.
Huh.
What was that, Cade?
Oh, none.
Oh yeah, come on now. Don't lie.
Hey, Cade, you should turn something so we can see the proper use of a woodworm screw.
I can't. It's too late here now. It's like 12:34.
Oh, really?
My
If
neighbors.
it's missing,
Yeah, it's 2:34 here too. I lose track of time sometimes.
his
Just
missus
a
has
little
got his
too
balls
late.
in a jar. You see?
So, wife sleeping and the neighbors are sleeping. So, I'm sure they wouldn't be too impressed.
Just turn the music up loud. They'll never notice.
Yeah. And the shorts.
Are your houses joined? Are they?
When the ground's shaking. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
I asked, are your neighbours are you joined to your neighbours?
No. But
We're not either here, but you might as well be.
yeah, pretty much. They're pretty close. I mean, they're separate walls, but pretty damn close. So
Yeah, it's the way it is here too. Like we got about maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 feet, I'm guessing, between houses here.
yeah.
Something like that. 10, 15 feet, maybe. It's not very far.
Yeah.
I
it's
hate
not
it.
too far. I'm about a foot.
Oh, I'm kind of worried I might be in the same spot as you come summer or spring when I can get out in my shop because in my other shop I didn't have to worry about it. Nobody could hear me. I could work all night long. Nobody could hear me. But
Yeah.
This one here is in between my house and the neighbors, and it's maybe 2 feet away from their place. So
Yeah, my workshop's about probably 50 feet from the nearest neighbour, but they get down the front of the house and they don't hear me, so I can work all night if I wanted to.
I like working at night. The sunlight burns my skin. Sunlight burns my skin.
And Tommy says it's 5:34 here and he's off to work. But he's still listening, so don't talk about him.
Yeah, bye, Tommy. Jay says bye too, Tommy.
Later, Tommy. Take care.
Where are we going, Kate? Are we going to your secret room in the basement?
No, that's where he is now. Secret room.
Oh, yeah. Where you keep all the battery operated spurtles, huh?
Yeah. The big ones.
Oh my. like Robo's dummy?
Yeah.
You notice Robo got all excited when I said that.
I don't get excited.
No.
Know who you remind me of when you start talking like that? Slowpoke. Right? Slowpoke Rodriguez.
Oh,
He was Speedy Gonzalez's cousin,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
No idea.
No,
Slow
I used to work on a lot of stations, and there were two brothers there, Cecil and Cedric, and fair income. It used to take them 15 minutes to say good morning to you.
Holy Moses.
Because they used to speak so slowly. Used to take them 10 minutes to get a sentence out, you know?
Yeah. Were they monotone?
No, just slow, folks, that's all. Didn't need to speak fast, you know? It was a bastard when you were waiting on what they wanted done around the place, because you'd be sitting there waiting for the answer, you know?
Yeah.
You could have a cup of tea while I were making up and getting it out to you.
Kind of the same thing with Jay trying to get him to use a woodworm screw. Kind of late now, Jay.
Yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit.
you need a bloody big one to fit in that hole.
That's what she said. Oh, it looks like it's starting to turn out pretty good. How thin is it on the bottom there, Jay?
Is it a funnel?
Have you joined the funnel club yet, Jay? You know, you're not a real woodworker or wood turner until you made a funnel. I got mine out of the way right quick. I think my first funnel was the bowl I did. It was called the Sawdust and Elmer's Glue Bowl or something like that. I made a wood blank out of sawdust and Elmer's glue and turned it. Did all right, but it took forever for it to dry, and it still wasn't dry when I was finishing up. So when I got to about where Jay was, I was trying to level out the bottom of it and went right through. I just made up some more wood putty and packed it in the hole and let it dry.
Yeah. I've never turned a funnel, but oh geez, I've had a couple of bowls that are that thin that you could see through.
Well, that's called a strainer, right? Because you can strain the liquid through the pores of what's left. Yeah, or a water filter. But I bet you would make a good water filter as long as you didn't put a finish on it.
Even with a finish on it, wouldn't be too bad, depending on the finish, if it was permeable.
Mm-hmm.
Snack time.
Yeah.
Oh, kitty, 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 kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. My cat's looking at me like, what the hell do you want? Oh, I was carving that rose.
Hey. Yeah.
I was carving that rose and the damn cat bit me and I broke my phone. It's all Jay's fault.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It broke, you said?
Yeah, it broke my phone. She bit me, and I jumped back, and when I did, I jumped back and bumped my desk, and I had it sitting up on a monopod I got for filming. And it fell off from it because it wasn't locked in. It fell off from it and broke the screen. So beware of cats; they're evil.
Yeah. I know.
Hey, Jay. Jay.
They get into everything.
What the hell is that?
What?
Oh,
Jay'll know what it is.
What is that?
looks like a funky donut.
Oh,
No,
it's a donut.
no, chocolatey clear.
Oh yeah, yeah. Shame on
Oh,
you.
that's it. You're banned from my channel now. Get out.
Well, you can blame Cade. He was busy bloody eating.
Hey, he's got his munchies though. He's drinking. He's got the munchies. You see. That's
Right.
generally what happens.
Oh, well, I got my cup of tea here too.
Fier Rocher.
Oh, get out of town. Go on, get lost.
Them are good as hell too.
I know how to fix the pair of yous. Oh, that didn't work very well, did it?
Yeah.
There we go. That's better. Look at that.
It looks pretty good. You broke the side of it, but other than that, it looks good.
15 minutes past my tea time, so I'm kind of getting a little bit peckish, you bastards.
I know.
You know, Jay, you could probably carve that out right there where it broke at. Carve it out real good and make a yarn bowl.
Or just have the one side dip down a bit.
Yeah. Cool. Or what Kate said. Hey, I got your back, buddy.
Might have to have another one of these. They're pretty good.
They are good, boy. My wife don't like them. She bought a bunch of them, or somebody gave her a bunch of them, or something, and she brought them home. I think somebody gave them to her. She brought them home. She ate one. She's like, I don't like these. I eat one of them. I was like, I'm taking these over here to my desk. These are mine now. You don't like them, leave them alone.
Right. Yeah, same. Cat's running around like a madman.
Yeah, my cat was doing that earlier. She's a crazy bitch.
Right. Who's this guy? Get it. $6:30 a.m. Are you going to work? That's early. Wow.
Tommy must be over there in the United Kingdom somewhere.
Yeah. UK.
You know what I mean? He's got to be to work at 6. Might not be too bad. He might have to what do you call it when the you drive one place to get to another place in the morning. They have a word for it. I can't remember what it is. Don't get old, Cade. You can't remember shit.
All right. I already have that problem.
I can't remember the name of it. It's when you live in one place and you drive to another place to work. You do it every morning. Commute, yeah.
Yeah.
See? Young minds. Notice Robo wasn't jumping in there to say anything. That's because he's older than I am, and he can't remember nothing either.
He's got a gob full of food. He ain't saying nothing. As he shoves the last piece in. Did you get it all in there, Robbo, or what?
Buggers. That's all right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Kate, can you grab me a beer? Tom says, yes, I am, Dart. I'm commuting. And Tommy says, for the next 5 weeks, I'm working in a food factory moving machinery. That's my kind of work. Move that machine over here closer. I get my quarters in it. No, the machine. I don't know. You guys got the machines over there. You put the quarters in and get sandwiches out of and stuff. Vending machines.
Yep. Yeah, we don't have quarters though.
All plastic money over there.
No. We have coinage as well.
Tell you what, I've seen some of the new Canadian. I think it's Canadian money. That stuff don't even look real.
Looks like Monopoly money.
Yeah. Now, from what they used to make like a paper money, but now the new stuff is like a plastic.
Well, all our money is plastic over here.
Here it's plastic. See, here's a plastic knife.
Yeah.
Plastic 20. Is green.
Another Australian invention.
Plastic 50.
Yeah, it's the same as our 50s now. It's got the clear going through it like that.
Yep.
Where are you at, Kate?
100. The 100 is brown. The 1,000 is purple.
You must be in Canada.
$1,000 note.
Yeah.
There's such a thing as a $1,000 note.
Believe it or not, in Australia there used to be a $1,000 note.
Yeah.
For bigger transactions, I think you can still get them, but they're not for normal.
We used to have one here in the States too. If I remember right, President Grant was on it. Ulysses Grant.
Are you in the States?
What's that?
Are you in the States?
Yeah, I'm just
across the
below,
border.
Just across the border from you.
Oh,
Michigan.
Where? Oh, cool.
What part of Canada are you in?
Ontario.
Oh yeah, you're over across from Detroit then. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Across from Detroit and New York.
Poor guy.
Rochester is straight across the lake from me. Hey, get down.
Yeah, I stayed hell away from them places.
Yeah.
So you're down south then?
What do you mean?
See, you're south from me, I think.
No, north. Northeast of you actually is.
Rod.
You're in Grand Rapids, as in Ontario. Have a look at an atlas.
I am right now.
Terrible when an Australian knows more about the rest of the world than they do about their own country in some cases.
Hey, back up.
He said he's right across from Rochester, New York. So yeah, we actually we're yeah, you're a little bit north of me. Northeast, yeah.
Good home.
Now I got a friend that lives down straight across from Detroit there in the lower peninsula there of Canada. Just across the river there, the lake from Detroit.
Yeah.
She's south from me. Canada's a big place, man.
Yeah, it is. It's huge.
Lots of places where you could dump a body. Just saying.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's quite as big as America. It might be bigger. But no, it's not bigger, but pretty close. Yeah, it might be.
Yeah. Might be with all the Arctic and stuff we have.
Yeah. But you go clear across just like America does, even further. You're longer.
Tommy says you've got lost, Doc.
I am lost.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man, I could walk for a mile in any direction and be lost.
Cade's being attacked by his pussy.
I know.
I'm gonna stop turning for today, I think.
Yeah, I got to go and do something too. So
Yeah, I do too. I gotta go get something to eat, you bastards.
I enjoyed that chocolate eclair too, Doc. Jeez, it was nice.
That's okay. I got sweets on my desk. Hey, has anybody seen Cat lately?
No,
Okay.
I was just thinking about her this morning. Actually, wondered where Eva's got to.
Yeah, I ain't seen her in a couple of days, I don't think. Hope she's okay.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to knock it on the head.
All right, I was about to say the same. I was just waiting for the chopper to fly over.